This is Sophia. In this video, me and my wife are gonna tell you the story of how we got this little one into the world. Um, where should I start?
Start from when we found out that I was measuring 44 weeks.
So we went to the doctor, and it was her 38th week.
37.
37. She was 37 weeks, and we're having a regular checkup. The doctor measured her, and she measured her to be 44 weeks. So we was like, oh snap. So she was like, you need to get a ultrasound. You need to get an ultrasound next, like ASAP, as soon as you can. So we went to the counter, scheduled an ultrasound, but they could only do it for like 39 weeks in the next 2 weeks. So we happened to see somebody else.
I had to go to the bathroom.
We had to see somebody else about something else with the pregnancy or whatever, financials. And my wife went to the bathroom. When my wife comes back, I see the doctor and I see my wife, and I look at the doctor and I look back at my wife. I'm like, should we go talk to her and tell her that we couldn't get an ultrasound until 2 weeks after? And so the doctor notices me looking back and forth and comes over and is like, is everything okay? And I was like, and we told her like we couldn't get an ultrasound until 2 weeks after, like the 26th. So she's like, no, she needs to get an ultrasound within the next week because that baby might need to be, come out or whatever. So after a lot of work with some of the administrative people, they was able to schedule us an ultrasound the next week. So we go to the ultrasound. Get into the ultrasound. The baby measures 10 pounds.
And I'm at 38 weeks.
At 38 weeks, the baby measured 10 pounds. You measured 10 pounds at 38 weeks.
So we had 2 more weeks left.
2 more weeks.
Full term. And
when we went back to the doctor, they told us that it could be like off by a pound or so, but it's still a big baby. So we wanted, like, especially my wife wanted to have a natural birth, wanted to wait at least until 40 weeks if we could and have a natural birth. So, but in the back of our minds, we knew that we might have to have a C-section.
Yeah.
So going into the 39th week, the 40th week, we get to the 40th week, and she was 40 weeks in one day. We go to her doctor's appointment.
Yeah. So we were scheduled for our 40th week appointment at 40 weeks in one day because on
it was her 40th week was
4th of July.
The 4th of July. And
so
they
basically her due date or estimated due date was on 4th of July.
Yes.
So on the 4th of July, we were kind of waiting, like, am I going to go in labor or am I not? But at the back of my head, like, I had no contractions, like, nothing.
No, like, serious signs that she was about to go to labor.
So in my head, I was not going to go to labor anytime soon. But I was, like, of course, tired.
Right. So it becomes the Friday after the 5th of July, after the 4th of July. I'm in here at my little,
area.
My little area where I make my videos, play my games, my area, whatever.
It was like 9 something
a.m. It was like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
9:30 a.m. My mom was on the counter. Hi, Mom. My mom was on the counter. Not on the counter, on the couch. My mom was on the couch, and I was playing the game, and I hear her. My mom tell me, is she okay? Because I didn't hear her call for me, but my mom heard her.
Okay, let's go to my view. So I was asleep. And I knew I was asleep alone because earlier I woke up and he wasn't in bed. So I was asleep alone. And then I woke up to the feeling of I needed to pee, like, really bad. Like, it's coming out in like 0.1 seconds. And I'm like, oh crap. So I tried to, with my belly being really big, I tried to, like, get off the bed as fast as I could. And as soon as I stood, like, like set up on the bed, like it's like I couldn't control my pee. I was like, no, no, this can't be. So I knew right away, okay, this is my water. Like my water bag
Right.
just burst. So I was like, what should I do? So I went to the door of the bedroom, and like called out to him, babe, come here. I didn't want to like scare or like excite, because I'm not sure 100% if it was my water or it was just pee that I couldn't control. And then he kind of took a while to come, because I guess from your point you couldn't hear me. So I was like, okay, I can't stand here because my waters are like literally going down my legs and
Right.
onto the carpet. So I ran as fast as I could to the bathroom, which is like pretty close, and I just sat on the toilet and was just looking down. And this may be a little like
A little graphic.
graphic, but it's like um my undies were soaked. And it was not pee, it was like,
A different type of fluid.
yeah, it was fluid, and it had like some like
Specks.
specks of creamish white something, and I believe it was like the lining of the bag that burst,
Yeah.
and specks of like blood, but very little.
Right.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
when my mom says, "Is she okay?" I set my things down. I go in to check on her, and she's in. We have a bathroom connected to the bedroom, so I go in the bedroom, and I look on the bed, and there was like a very small amount. Like the bed was wet a little bit, but I was like, that could be sweat. She could have spilled maybe a little bit of water. Like it wasn't that much. Like it was very little.
I swear in my head it like just felt like it was like a bunch of water just
Maybe it didn't come through like all your layers of clothing.
maybe, yeah, that's true.
So I look into the bathroom and she's on the toilet, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "I think my water just broke." And so I walk up to her, what I'm saying? It's a little graphic. I look at her underwear, and it was like drenched. It was like soaked. Like,
It was soap plus a puddle.
yeah, it was soaked plus a puddle. You couldn't even tell if you didn't know the color of her underwear. You wouldn't know it was like, what I'm saying, different. It was wet, but yeah, it was drenched. There was a little puddle in it. There was like specks of blood.
Yeah.
There was like those little specks from the bag. And she was very calm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She was very calm, and I was like, you know what? This is the day we had your doctor's appointment anyways. Just, after you get off the toilet, just get in the shower. Shower's right here. And then we'll go to the hospital. We'll go to the triage where we had the babies or whatever.
And
So,
also, like, a funny thing was, I was kind of stressed out about if I should get a membrane sweep that appointment, like on the that day basically, or I should wait a few days and then get induced like medically, because the baby's already big. They've already warned us, and we wanted a vaginal birth. So yeah, so I was kind of torn. So I'm glad basically she kind of made the decision for us that, hey, you don't need a membrane sweep or an
right,
induction. I'm gonna break the water.
right. She just, yeah. So her appointment that day was at 3:30 in the afternoon. So this happened at 9:30 in the morning. So after I leave the bathroom, I come out of the bedroom, and my mom, what I'm saying, she asked me, "Is everything okay?" You know what I'm saying? I just, I wanted to stay calm. I wanted to keep the peace. I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to start a frantic situation. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, yeah, everything is okay. She's okay. Her water broke. And then I came back over to my station, and I started continuing to play 2K.
Wow.
So I was like, she's going to take a while taking a shower. I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and play 2K, finish this game I got going. Nobody wants to save in the middle of a game. Because when you come back to it and you're in the middle of a game, you kind of be like, this is not what I want to do right now. Anyways, so I tell my mom that, and she's like, "What? Are you serious? Are you joking?" She thought I was joking. For some reason, people
Is
think
it really?
yeah, she thought I was
didn't
joking.
know
She was like,
that.
"Don't play with me right now. Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, water broke." You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep it cool. You know what I'm saying? And so she was like, "We need to go to the hospital. You need to, get off the game." Da 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 da. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm about to get off the game." She's taking a shower now. After she gets out the shower, I'm gonna get in the shower. We're gonna collect all our things. We already had our
Baby bag.
baby bag, hospital bags, all packed and stuff by the door. We just the last things we had to grab was stuff like chargers and toothbrushes and stuff like
Yeah.
this. So after all that's done, we head out. We're driving to the hospital.
Wait, hang on. Okay, so let me tell you about when I was in the shower.
Okay.
So I was still kind of like, I knew my water bag burst, but it, after the initial burst of gush of water, it kind of like stopped. So I was gonna make sure, I wanted to make sure that, okay, like this is really my water bag. So when I went in the shower, like it was leaking slowly, like I can feel it leaking, but at like 39 weeks, I'd say I started feeling like, oh my god, okay, I got impatient, like
Right.
I want the baby out. Like I love, alhamdulillah, I love my pregnancy. It's been really good, but and I love my baby bump. But at 39 weeks, I'm kind of like tired. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't sleep. I walk really really slow. A lot of pressure down there. So and I was in the shower. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have this baby today. Like I am going in labor. This baby's coming out. Like I was kind of freaking out as I was showering, so I had to like take breaths like,
Right.
okay, calm down. It's going to be okay. It's a natural process. You can do this. So I just want to be as calm as I can. I don't want to like freak out and yeah, start tripping. So yeah, so by the time I like got out of the shower, I was pretty calm. Like I went out there, I sat on the couch. His mom was getting things for me, and like I was trying to help like get the stuff together, but because my water bag broke, like she told me to sit down so the waters don't like
Mm-hmm.
leak out, too much. But yeah, I I wore like adult diapers basically, so the waters don't.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we were on our way. Continue.
So we're on our way. We're driving to the hospital. We get
I haven't ate, by the way. This is in the morning,
yes.
so I
This was
was
in the morning.
hungry and thirsty.
We was driving, and we was like, oh no, you didn't get to eat.
Yeah, and I knew like when I got to the hospital, they always say like once you're in the hospital, you can't eat. You can only get clear liquids and water and ice chips. That's it. So we got dates in like
We had dates in the car.
yeah. So I ate 3.
She ate 3, I ate 1. But they don't like they okay if I eat. They don't care if I eat. But yeah, she
Yeah.
couldn't eat.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to the hospital, and we're like, I feel like between me, her, and my mom, it was like an excitement, a like it was like a mix of excitement. Okay, where we gotta go? Let's make sure we get her to where she needs to be. Is she okay? Is the baby okay? Cause she's, her water's broke. We don't know like how long the baby can be okay without,
Yeah.
fluids. You know what I'm saying? So we get to the hospital. We get up to the floor where the baby center is. Um, they, we go into this room, and this like lady, like I guess it was like a nurse assistant or something.
Mm-hmm.
She starts taking her vitals, asking her questions. Um, and then then one of the doctors come in, and she's like, okay, let's take a look. And she's like, sits her back on this table, and like just
Not
fluid,
table. It's
like
it's like a bed.
the bed table that you sit in at the doctor's office.
Examinable
Yeah, the exam
examination.
table.
Yeah.
And like fluid just starts coming out on the floor everywhere.
I
So they had to get mats to make sure, you know what I'm saying. They made a mess. They didn't try to make a mess, but it was a mess.
I didn't know it was that bad. Really?
It was a lot. I mean, it was just coming out, and she checked her
Wow.
to see how much she was dilated, and I don't know how much she said she was dilated, but it wasn't
still,
that much.
Okay, so the week before, so after the 36 weeks, you get your appointments every week just to check your progress. So on the 38th week, we I decided like, okay, let's check my cervix, right? Didn't we do that? Yeah, and my cervix was like very little dilated, like a pinky finger dilated. 50% of face. That means like the membrane is thinning out only by 50%. And yeah, that's it. And when she checked me on the day of my uh, when I got admitted, I was still kind of that
Yeah,
small.
very
Like
small, not very much dilation.
basically nothing really changed. Even though like we walked
We
like
walked a lot.
I went swimming.
She went
I
swimming
did
a lot.
squats in the pool.
She did squats in the pool.
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. Okay.
Yeah. So she's checking her and she's like, yeah, this baby's definitely coming. We don't know if it's gonna be C-section or vaginal birth. We didn't know. She wanted to make sure we understood that it could go either way. So we get they go around, they bring a wheelchair for her so she doesn't drip through the hospital. So we ride to, where did we go? We went to the room, right?
Yeah.
We went to the room.
Delivery room.
We went to the delivery room. We got comfortable, situated. They got her hooked up to like IVs and all this type of stuff. Monitors for the baby, for her, and we was there. We was in that room, going through all this different stages of pain, growth for, what was it? It was over 24 hours. It was like,
What my total?
yeah, your total labor
My total
in that room
labor.
before we.
Well, my total labor was 33 hours.
33 hours.
So, I didn't start feeling contractions after the my water bag broke till like they put what is it called?
Epidural.
No, Pitocin.
Oh yeah.
So that kind of induces labor. So I started having my contractions after the 7th hour, and yeah, like I didn't get my, so I didn't want to do epidural. I didn't want to do any kind of pain management medically, but after the the third check, I was only dilated like still 2 centimeters, 2 to 3 centimeters, and I have like 10, so I got 7 centimeters to go, and I was already in my 24th hour of labor.
Yes,
so I
without food.
Yeah, without food, I was having regular contractions too.
Yeah.
So it's just that my cervix didn't open up as much.
And the contractions were getting worse.
Yeah,
and
it was pretty bad.
Yeah, they were getting a lot worse. They was getting more frequent, but as far as dilation, it wasn't much change. You know what I'm saying? So.
And it was already almost 24 hours, and I was so tired.
She was so tired.
My contractions were basically like 30 to 40 seconds apart. So I was kind of like moaning in pain the whole time, and I think it was pretty annoying for you and your mom.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I'm like, it got to the point where like she, we'd have to get up, and help her go to the bathroom, and naturally, it's a lot of fluid, so you may or may not make it to the bathroom. And a couple of times we didn't make it to the bathroom. There was a lot of fluid, and it was just a natural process. I would say it was a natural process.
It was very raw, basically.
It was very raw. You know what I'm saying? A lot of reassuring. Fellas, you gotta make sure, or ladies, or whoever your partner is at the time. A lot of reassuring of your partner who's pregnant. Like, this is natural. Nobody's gonna like make fun of you or think of you different because you either have fluids leaking out of you or you can't hold your pee. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, what he's trying to say is, I felt like I needed to pee, and I was hooked up to like a bunch of like wires because because my water broke, so they need to monitor her, and also because I'm on Pitocin, which is like, they need to monitor the baby basically. Right. So at first, like, I couldn't like walk around or be in the tub to manage my pain or whatever. So I was like kind of laying in bed, and I had to pee, and it's like, okay, I need to pee. So I told him like, can you like help me to the bathroom? I need to pee. As soon as I got out of bed, it's just like, oh my god, like, again, like, I couldn't control it.
couldn't control
So
it,
I
and it
kind
just
of
come
peed
out.
all over. I kind of peed, and it was
It's
also
fluid.
partly fluid. Like,
Yeah, all over the place.
yeah, and I got so upset because I just changed into my labor slippers, which
She
were
just
really
put her
cute,
slippers on, the bunny ones,
the bunny ones.
and then like less than a minute later, we had to go to the bathroom, and
I had to change my gown.
soaked.
I had to change. Yeah, the slippers were soaked. I was so upset. I don't know why. Like, he had to reassure me on the spot. Like, it's okay. It's all right. Like,
Right,
I don't
it's
know why I
natural.
was so upset
Yeah,
that
you
my
were
bunny
so upset.
slippers were soaked.
And then the second time, we had just put her socks on, and it
And it
happened
was new
again.
socks
New
too.
socks, never worn before. Design socks, had designs on it.
Yeah.
We don't have those socks anymore.
We basically just threw it
No,
away.
they did not make it out of the hospital.
Yeah, but the last two times we kind of did it. Like, I don't know how we did it. I just like had to control. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't know.
But
So
yeah. So, anyways, we were at our 24th hour.
24th, 25th, 26th hour. Pain is getting unbearable. She's tired, like exhausted. She hasn't ate. She doesn't have any energy. She's getting fluids, but it's not really like giving her energy like that.
Yeah.
So she,
So I was saying, like, you know what? I can't, like, after that cervix check, and I was only like 3 centimeters dilated. I was like, no, like, I'm not gonna have to wait another possibly 24 hours to get dilated to 6 centimeters, and be in pain for another 24 hours. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take an epidural. So I got an epidural. It wasn't that bad. I mean, yeah, it wasn't that bad. I got a catheter because once you get an epidural, your
can't
whole
move.
your body gets numb, like the bottom part.
Yeah.
So you don't feel the contractions, but I do feel some of the contractions, like those really, really like painful ones, but it wasn't that bad. So everybody got some sleep. As soon as I got epidural, everybody got some sleep.
She went to sleep. I went to sleep. My mom went to sleep.
She went to sleep for a bit, and then she went home because
Right, she went home.
she needs to take like medication and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, and it was better. So after I got the epidural, I slept, and then 4 hours later they come to check, and I did make a little bit of progress. It was between 3 to 4 centimeters, 75% of phase, so I got like 25% more to go. Yeah, but it was still very not a significant change. At this point, we're already hitting like 29 hours of labor.
So it's not much change. And also, we, with us being Muslim, we also wanted to have all female physicians, but sometimes you can't control it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't control if the anesthesiologist is
And
a
that's
male,
fine. It's all right.
or if it's a male nurse or something like that. At the end of the day, we just wanted to, make sure she felt comfortable, make sure the baby was okay, and try to control her pain. So after she was like, what, 4?
4 centimeters.
4 centimeters.
Yeah.
The doctor comes back in.
And by the way,
before we had got to all that, after we had went to the room, the doctor had came back with like some papers because she just wanted to make sure we knew like the severity or the baby's situation. So the baby, she came in, she said the baby's head was naturally big, naturally like normal.
Yeah, I think 75 percentile.
Yeah, but her stomach was in the 99 percentile. Like the way she was telling us, we thought her baby was like normal all over, and then had a huge belly, like Santa Claus. Like, and we was like, oh my God, what are we gonna do with this big belly baby? You know what I'm saying? So she was just like, with babies like this, it's better to be on the cautionary side and have a C-section than to try to push the baby out or wait for you to get dilated enough to push the baby out. You know what I'm saying? So we took that into consideration. Fast forward back to where we were. After over 24 hours of labor, being exhausted, even after having the epidural, we talked to the doctor again, who had helped us with the ultrasound, getting the early ultrasound. It was her time. You know, like the other doctor had already went home. That's how long we was in there.
Yeah.
Um, she came in and was talking to us about, you know, having a C-section. You know, just keeping it in mind, like, you know.
But they were also very neutral about
They
it.
were very neutral. They
And
were
they
like,
were
whatever
nice.
she wants to
Yeah.
do, that's what we're gonna do. We're
Yeah.
just gonna give you the information. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Which was very, very. Uh, we're very grateful for that.
Yeah.
So after the doctor leaves, we talk a little bit, and she ultimately decides to have a C-section. So we're like, okay.
Yeah. Because my point of view, I've always wanted a normal delivery. And I was really, really trying for it, even though I knew it was going to be a big baby. But they were saying that there's a chance that the baby may have shoulder dysplasia. That means, like, even when I reach 10 centimeters and I'm pushing, the head can come out, but because her stomach,
Size, yeah,
her size of her torso was big, she can get stuck in my
yeah, stuck.
pelvis or something.
Some stuff, her bones can break
Yeah.
trying to push her out and stuff.
And like by that time you can't do any more C-sections,
Right.
because the baby's really low.
Right.
So the only way they can take the baby out is through like a vacuum or using tongs or
Right.
breaking her collarbone just to
get her out.
Yeah, and I don't want that to happen to my
Right.
baby, you know, just because I don't want I want a normal delivery. And also, like, this baby is probably gonna be big, so I'm gonna be ripped like bad, and there may be complications afterwards, like
Right.
not like a normal recovery, but I may need to
Right.
like come back to see someone else and da da da.
Right.
And the reason why I don't want to get a C-section was because the recovery is going to be very long. It's a major operation.
Major.
So, but if I'm gonna deliver this baby naturally and also have complications, then
with
what's
her
the point?
and the baby.
Yeah, and the baby's gonna be like also affected. Then what's the point?
Right.
In my point of view, it's better just to have a C-section and to know that my baby's gonna be okay.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why I ultimately decided, like, okay, I'm just gonna go for a C-section.
Yeah. And just a side note, I know y'all looking like the baby's head's all crooked, but I didn't try to adjust her. She's sleeping naturally like that, so I'm not gonna try to wake her too much. You
Okay.
peeking at me? She's a peeker. Anyways, so we decided to have the C-section. We called our doctor back in. We tell her, like, hey, we're gonna do the C-section. So they plan for it. It takes probably about another 2 hours maybe.
Yeah.
For everything to get it set up, and they start to take her. So we start to leave, and we're going out, and it's funny because they rolled her out, and then I came out, and like some random guy was just like, man, I just had a baby.
Oh, really?
This is
I
crazy.
didn't know
He
that.
was so hyped. And then like I was walking behind her, like they had her on the bed, they was pushing her, and it was crazy. And my brother was out there. Shout out to my brother, you know, so that man. Anyways, he was like, yeah, man, I just had a baby, man. Is that you right there? Like talking about her, like, you better have a baby. I was like, yeah, man, that's me, man. He's like, man, it's a beautiful thing. I was like, yeah, man, it's hype. Like we about to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm walking back there. They give me the hat that you see in this picture, the scrub, vest, the face, the mask, the pants, and the shoes. I had on my Birkenstocks. And I put everything on. I put the mask on. I put the mask part on like around my nose. It was like really tight. I couldn't untie it, so it was like I couldn't hardly move that well. Yeah, I was like, I was kind of upset about that, but you know,
Oh, wow.
the situation was a little bit bigger than that, so I wasn't gonna say anything. So I'm sitting there. I actually have both our phones because my phone, its camera's like cracked, so it doesn't take good pictures. So I also have her phone, so I took her phone and I made some videos and I was talking, but like I wanted to like document the moment, but at the same time I was so like out of my mind, like I'm about to have a baby. It was so surreal, you know what I'm saying? Plus there was nobody back there. There was one like nurse guy or something back there coming in and out, but that was about it. So I was just sitting in a rocking chair by myself, and I'm pretty sure they had already started, and then they bring me in. They're like, all right, it's time, you can come in. So I'm walking in, and I see her like laid out on this table with her hands stretched out and like stretched straight out
Like a T.
like a T, like making a T pose.
Yeah.
And they got the curtain up, and there was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 people total, 6 or 7 people total. So I go in there, I sit down, and I'm talking to her and everything, and I'm making sure she's comfortable and she's okay. And then the anesthesiologist guy, he was right there beside me, making sure she was okay.
He was so chatty, by the way, but it's good because it
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of keeps me awake.
yeah. Keep you awake. Keep your mind
Yeah.
off of you know what I'm saying, the situation.
I think I was kind of calm.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like I was ready. Like,
Right.
you know, I was ready for the. I think I'll be more scared if it was a natural birth.
Really, yeah, because it's
Then,
like active. You can feel it more.
Yeah.
Like, so I was sitting there for like maybe like a minute, 2 minutes, and I was like, in my head, I was thinking like, man, I want to look so bad. Like, I want to see like the rawness, like raw. You know what I mean? Like, we see it on TV. You see like little Instagram stuff. I wanted like Grey's Anatomy. I wanted to see it. Like, I wanted to see it. So I told the anesthesiologist guy, I finally like told him, I was like, man, I kind of want to look. And he was like, oh no, it'll be okay. You know, a lot of people, you know, faint or pass out, get a little squeamish when they see it. And I was like, man, it's all right. You know, I'll be watching Dr. Pimple Popper, and everybody started laughing.
I'm like, Dr. Pimple Popper is no way the same as this situation.
But
it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of insulting as a surgeon, the one doing it.
I mean, I hope they didn't get insulted. It wasn't me trying to be like,
yeah, they were cool about
you
it.
know,
They were laughing.
saying that their job isn't important or, you know, downplaying what they do. But I mean, technically it's kind of the same thing.
It's not the
You're
same.
taking something that's in the body out of the body. Same thing. There's different levels. Clearly there's different levels to it, but you know what I'm saying? Kind of the same thing. Comment below if you think it's the same thing or not. Anyways,
you're gonna get a lot I'm not
saying like popping a blackhead or whitehead on your face is the same as having a baby. I'm not saying it's the same. I'm just saying there, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, it's, you know, it was in the body, then it was out of the body. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's all I'm like. That's got to be the same. Like, football and tennis is 2 different sports. So it's technically, they're both sports. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. They're both procedures.
Okay. That's
so
true.
I'm like, man, I kind of want to look. And he's like, nah, it's okay. People pass out, faint. I'm like, man, I watch Dr. Pimple Popper, man. I'll watch it all the time. So he started laughing. A couple of the surgeons was like, Dr. Pimple Popper. And I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I just want to see it. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't let me see it in the beginning. And once the baby comes out, you can hear like she wasn't really crying that much. She was crying a little bit, but not like nothing, like not like nothing crazy, just like normal cries, I would say. And we were like, oh my god, like this is our baby. And like the nurse was like, oh, you got your phone. So I gave her phone. She took the pictures.
Okay, before this, we had a surprise gender baby.
Yes.
So we chose not to know the gender of the baby.
Yes.
Till the baby
was born.
Yeah.
And let me just say this: 99% of y'all said it was gonna be a boy.
Yep. Like the way my belly is shaped is like as if
right.
I was gonna have a boy.
Right. My mom, you said a boy. Kaka Lynn, you said a boy. Kaka Ayn, you did say girl at first.
But then you switched
to saying it was a boy. Mom, pa, I think said a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was saying a boy. My brother was wanting it to be a boy. Everybody was saying a boy.
Everybody who saw my belly, random people said it was gonna be a boy.
Gonna be a boy. Some people thought it was gonna be twins. Yeah. Like, it was crazy. Like, people thought she was having twins when she was in her like 34th week. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no, it's like one baby in her. But
it was. I had a really big belly.
Right.
I didn't even notice it until we started.
Till we seen the pictures. Yeah, till we seen the picture like late, like afterwards. So when they bring the baby out, they let me announce it. You know what I'm saying? So they bring the baby out, and I stand up and look, and I'm just like, I'm just like staring for like a good 25
I
seconds.
couldn't see anything because like the drapes are really high.
Right.
So I was just looking up at him like, "What is it, babe? Like, tell me, like, what is it?" He took like 3 seconds or
I was
more.
just staring because at first, I'm not even gonna lie, I was like astonished. Like I couldn't believe like there was my baby. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing. And the second thing, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell at first. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of a lot of things around the places. Couldn't tell. They maneuvered the baby a little bit, and then I was like, aha. You know what I mean? I was all right. This is exactly what happened. Okay, look, father, look. I was like, and then she goes, babe, what is it? I'm like, it's a girl. And I was like, oh my god,
Yeah,
it's
I
a
was so
girl.
shocked.
I was like, oh my god. I was like, it was so, it was so crazy. Like, you don't even like everything. It seemed like everything happened so fast. So they clean the baby up. They take the baby into the other room. They bring me with the other baby in the other room. They're measuring her. They're making getting all her like essentials, making sure I'm looking at the baby. I didn't get to hold the baby yet. They made the pediatricians make sure everything was okay with those two pediatricians, a man and a woman. Made sure she was okay. Checked the some important stuff or whatever. Like pediatrician, I don't know what they checked.
Like the weight, the height.
Well, then we took her into another room
Oh.
with the nurse. Actually, before that, the nurse had took and wrote down her name. They put girl and then her last name and a number, I don't know, some random number, the time and date of birth, and they put it on like little wristbands and gave me one, gave the baby two, and then gave the mom one. So then we take her in and they measure her. She ended up being 21 inches, 21. She ended up being 21 inches, and then they weighed her. And it was funny because one of the nurses was like, oh, we heard about this baby. I got a bet with so-and-so that it was going to
Really?
be
I didn't
under
know.
450 grams. And I was just like, you making bets on my baby? Like, what are you doing?
I
Like,
bet
you know what
they
I'm
do
saying?
that. Okay, so when we went back, sorry, sidetrack. So when we went into the delivery room and the nurses start asking, "Oh, is it a boy or a girl?" and we said like, "We don't know. It's a
Yeah,
surprise gender."
surprise.
Everyone just got hyped. Like,
Yeah, like everyone in the hospital that we talked to, that we told we're having a surprise baby, was like really excited. I guess a
I
lot of
love
people,
surprise babies.
yeah, they like love surprise babies. Like it's like a whole moment that they get to be a part of. Excitement.
Yeah, and I think they do bet on it, like if it's a
They
girl or a
definitely bet
boy.
on it. They definitely bet on you, girl. They was betting on you. Anyway, so she weighed 444 grams. That ain't right.
No,
It was 44 grams
yeah,
on the scale,
that
which
translates
translates into 9 pounds and can't believe how
12.7
12.7
ounces,
ounces.
which is
9 pounds, 12.7
yeah,
ounces.
which is pretty close to 10 pounds, right?
That's pretty close to 10 pounds. And so I'm just like, wow. So then they take me back in there to mom because they was gonna do some other things with her. So they take me back in there to mom, and so when I went out the first time to see the baby, I finally got to see. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, I was looking, I was walking slow, and I was looking, I was just like, oh my god, like she's all cut open. You know what I mean? Like if those surgeons and nurses don't do their job right now, she could die. Like I don't know how to close her belly. Like I'll get like a couple band-aids, throw some water on it or something. Like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. I seen her placenta in a pan just sitting there. I was like, man, it was like a dark, like purple,
Really?
reddish color. Yeah, it was real organy. Like
Wow,
it's not like how
organ.
you see pictures of organs in the books and stuff where they're all colorful and stuff. No, it was real. This was raw. You know what I mean? So after I come back, I'm walking real slow because I'm like, I want to get a good look. So I'm looking in and I can like see the insides. And so when I got her back around to her, checked on her and everything, um, I stayed standing. I didn't want to sit down because I wanted to see it. Like I wanted to like see the rest of what I could see. Um, They didn't tell me to sit down. They seen that I wasn't squeamish. I wasn't gonna pass out. You know what I mean? I
Because
wasn't
all
one of
of
those.
your pimple popper
Cause all
experience.
that pimple popper
Mm-hmm.
experience came into play. Don't underestimate
A
the
good people.
experience of some good pimple popping. You know what I'm saying? So, so I'm looking, and by this time, like they're really like at the end, like they're really like closing her up. But I seen one of the surgeons had like a big amount of like just organs in her hands, and I'm pretty sure it was her intestines.
That's crazy. That they took out stuff
They
from
was,
my insides to
and I
get
could
the
see
baby out.
like how they were like pointing and like looking at each other and like trying to decide. They was playing Tetris with your organs. They was playing Tetris with your organs. They was putting it back in there like that.
Dang.
And I was like seeing them, and they was like pushing it in
I
and stuff.
feel it. Like you have epidural. You're kind of like numb, but you can feel the pressure. And the pressure when they were trying to take the baby out, it was really really uncomfortable. Like I had like breathtaking uncomfortable. I had to like calm myself down. Like they were really in there. Yeah.
It was it was definitely an experience. You know what I'm saying? And oh, I want to go back. 99% said it was gonna be a boy. I had two dreams throughout the pregnancy that it was gonna be a girl, but I didn't know if it was gonna be a boy or girl. Like I had such a neutral feeling. Like I can't picture either one. Like I didn't know. And like you had the
Yeah,
same,
and
right?
for me, throughout the whole pregnancy, when I envisioned the baby, it was just like a baby. You know how,
Yeah.
like, you can't really tell if a baby is a boy or a girl.
Right.
And, like, I've always pictured the baby in, like, a white onesie. So,
Right.
gender, like, I don't know the gender.
Right. The only person other than Kakain in the beginning, but you switched Kakain. You switched, you know what I mean? So the only person that said it was going to be a girl was my friend DG.
That's
He
crazy.
sat
And
right
he
there
said
in
with
that
so
couch.
much confidence.
He's my name DG. That's what he does. He said, "You gonna have a girl, bruh." And he would text me, "You had your girl yet? You had your daughter yet?" And I'd be like, "Nah, bro, I don't know what it is, bro." And like I told him we got to the hospital. It's like, "Oh, did you have your girl yet? Oh, what you gonna name your daughter?" Da, da, da. And I was just like, he was right. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. He was right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so after I'm standing there and I'm seeing her, like they're putting the stuff back in her, and they're using like these big, like claw looking like utensils. It looked like big spoons or
Huh.
big spatulas that were like bent, and it was like pulling you to like open you up to like get the stuff
Holy
in there.
cow, really?
And it was, yeah, like it was real. You know what I mean?
Thank God I didn't see it. Can you
Yeah.
imagine if they like actually dropped the drapes and I'm like, my body's cut open in there?
It was so like surreal. And so they're putting the stuff in. They're like sewing. They was sewing back and forth for like so long. Like I guess the
It
layers.
felt like it was a long time.
Yeah, and like the doctor. Well, I think the lead surgeon, she did really good. Like the lady that was helping us with the ultrasound and stuff, she did.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to her. Don't remember her name, but she did have a Grizzlies, um,
It really, I don't know.
neck band where you put your keys on. I don't know what they're
Oh.
called, but I meant to ask her
Lanyard?
about that.
Lanyard?
I guess I don't know what it's called, but yeah, she had a Grizzlies one. I'm like, is that your favorite team, whatever? But one of the people that was sewing her up was an intern, like not an intern, what they call it?
A resident?
No, I think it might be an intern. Yeah,
medical
yeah,
student?
intern. She was an intern, like, and I was just like, wow, like, y'all got an intern sewing her up, like, this is crazy. But you know, she did a great job. Afterwards, like, I'm seeing like,
Afterwards, she came to us, like she came around to me and him, and she was saying that we made a good decision to
Yeah.
have a C-section, because when they opened me up and like basically how she was positioned, it was kind of impossible for me to push her out vaginally, even if I did get to 10 centimeters.
yeah. So basically, babies are supposed to be like facing downwards towards like the buttocks. You know what I'm saying? And the way she was positioned, she was facing up, like upwards, like towards the belly button. And so,
Like her face, you mean?
yeah,
I
her
can't-
face, yeah.
Okay.
So they would have had to like maneuver her anyways. So that would have just made more complications for the pregnancy, for the birth. So yeah, she constantly told us like we made a great decision. She was telling me that throughout, like them putting stuff in you, sewing you up, like you made a great decision.
And also, like throughout the whole 33 hours, the baby, like the nurses keep checking the baby, and the baby is like, the baby is healthy. Like even despite, my water's breaking, 33 hours of labor, the baby has been constantly healthy. That's
Yeah,
like, yeah,
such a blessing.
yeah, it is.
So like we bring her over, and I showed her the baby. You know
Oh
what I'm
my
saying? It's
god,
like,
I was kind of um drifting in and out of sleep by then, because I think
yeah, yeah,
the epidural or whatever they made me take was so like strong. And then I see like this little baby on the left side of me. I'm like,
yeah,
oh my god,
yeah. It
that's my
was crazy.
baby. Yeah, it was insane.
Um,
We took pictures.
we took pictures. We took a lot of pictures. One of the pictures is the picture you see here of me holding her. And then afterwards, I mean, I don't know, like
She is a big baby, by the way.
she was a big baby, and like everybody that would come to our room or come see us was like, "Oh, I heard about you.
Yeah.
I heard about you. You big baby. You big old cheeks." Da, da, da,
And they
da.
say, oh, you look like a toddler.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's all right, girl. You good. You good.
Hmm.
I don't know, man. It was just seeing, like, of course, natural. I would say natural birth is
Yeah.
the preferred way to go, but fellas or ladies or whoever's in that room, you gotta look. I wish I was in there in the beginning and got to see the beginning. I really only got to see like the the middle of the end and the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, I wanted to be on the side of the curtain with her for to support her and keep her calm and everything. But at
I
the
was
same
alright.
time,
I was calm.
I wanted to be in there. I wanted to be under the center, like looking straight in like this. I wanted to be in there. Maybe next baby, I don't know. We'll see. Um, man, it's been crazy. And today she's 1 week old.
Hmm. We gotta tell about the afterwards. So basically, they keep saying, like, you get some sleep now, or get as much sleep as you can, because you won't get sleep at the hospital after you give birth. That is very true.
That is the truth.
We kind of took it lightly.
Especially if you're not able to get the baby situated. Like we wasn't able. Like her milk hadn't start coming yet.
Yeah.
And so when she's probably gonna tell you in a minute, but when she would breastfeed, I guess the baby wasn't really getting like a lot of milk or any milk. So the baby would constantly, if we're not holding the baby, be up crying. You know what I'm saying? Like clearly not getting fed. They weighed the baby a couple days, like every day afterwards, and the baby lost like 2 pounds after 24 hours. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like she's farting on me right now, but
Oh.
yeah, I told him that you was farting on me.
You're so.
So once we figured that out, we was able to we did get donor milk.
Okay, and this was like, okay, so because I had a cesarean, we had to stay in the hospital for 3 days just to
Mm-hmm.
make sure I was okay, the baby was okay. So, not okay. Back, let's rewind.
Okay.
So directly after I was out of the operation theater. I was basically in like the waiting room resting with him. He and nurses just start coming in, like taking my blood pressure
Constantly.
and then showing me how to breastfeed, like immediately, like, okay, here, I'm gonna teach you how to breastfeed. I was so sleepy from the epidural
Right.
or whatever. I was like, I swear I think I slept while they were trying to teach me how to breastfeed. But yeah, it was constant constant
Just people coming in and
interaction.
out. There's
Yeah.
people coming in and out for uh nurses, there's doctors, there's n-
Paperwork. And this is
paperwork.
directly after you give birth.
Like directly after, there was nurses, techs coming in.
Pediatrician.
Just, it was like every 5 minutes
Yep.
somebody was coming in. You got people delivering food, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
People cleaning your room.
people cleaning, like
And like you're here trying to feed the baby and get the baby to sleep so you
right,
can get some sleep. And every time I would be able when I get the baby to sleep, I put her in that bassinet, and she would wake up like 20 minutes
right,
after, like for the whole 3 days. And they only started telling me about supplementing with donor milk on the second day, you think? It was on the second day.
yeah,
So before that, I would, because I had a C-section, my milk comes in a little delayed, like a day delay. And after that, she said she was cluster feeding, which means she would want milk
every like
constantly.
30 minutes or to an hour she wants to feed, like, you know what I'm saying? And it was exhausting,
Yeah,
like,
I didn't have any sleep. Like, even after major surgery, I didn't have any sleep.
right.
Yeah.
And like, to keep her soothed, I would like walk, pace back and forth
Yep.
all night, sometimes bouncing on my calves. Like my calves got a major workout, you know what I mean? um she Once we got the donor milk,
Yeah, it was a little better.
it was a little better. They showed us how to feed with our finger in a syringe, so that she wouldn't, like, we didn't go straight to a bottle,
Yeah.
just so she would like wouldn't like prefer a bottle over like breastfeeding. So we did the donor milk. We did, I think, the donor milk twice. And
Mhm.
then my wife did some research and found out that it was haram. So we stopped the donor milk. We went to the formula.
Well, it's not actually haram, but I didn't research like research
It wasn't
research.
like in-depth research. I mean, she just had a
Yeah.
C-section.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's the first article that pulled up. I'm gonna switch to formula.
Right. So we switched the formula just to be safe.
Yeah.
Not to say we don't know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So we switched to that. We're doing that for a while, and she, she's worried about like her breast milk coming in, and
Yeah.
the the pediatricians and the lactation consultants like reassured her, like, especially with C-sections, they can come in later. Like
Mhm.
some lactations consultants have seen like it come in like 9 days later,
Yeah.
and so
We just have to like
be
be
patient and
patient,
like wait.
keep
Yeah,
working on it, and like, by the way, like, nursing isn't, it's a beautiful thing, but it's painful. This
it's,
baby is a shark. He's seen it.
I seen it. Like it was like
I
it.
told him before she's a monster when it comes to getting food.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, my parts are kind of tore up, and I had to stop for a little bit and use like a guard. But she is a monster.
You're a monster.
I have bite marks, and she don't even have teeth.
She would be like, ah, ah,
Yeah,
ah. I'd
that's
be
exactly what she does.
like, what are you doing?
That's
Like,
exactly what she.
like less than a week old. What's wrong with
And
you?
she have her eyes closed, and she kind of just
Yeah. It's just like, who taught you that? Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
like, calm down.
right. And another thing, ladies, um, the pediatrician told us, like, don't just try to breastfeed her every time she like cries, because maybe she just wants to suck on something. So don't let your baby turn you into a pacifier.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and
Because
that's
that
what
could
she
be
did.
bad, because she
Yeah,
can be there, she'll fall asleep.
yep, and that's what she
You know
did
what I
to
mean?
me. I was during the cluster feeding. I was going from one to the other constantly for 3 to 4 hours, and that kind of really tore it up.
Yeah, there was some
And
damage done.
yeah, and it wasn't like, I'm not saying in a figurative form. It's torn up.
Like, it's literally
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah, so if guys out there or women out there who don't have this experience, just be nice to new mothers. It hurts, and
Yeah.
like just the whole process of it, it can be very um, daunting.
Yeah, and we tried the nipple guard. I know there's a nipple guard out there. She hasn't really been too receptive to it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Everybody's different. Maybe your baby will be, maybe it won't.
but I'm starting to nurse her naturally again. I've healed, and I think as she gets older or bigger, she kind of knows how to suckle properly.
Right.
So yeah, I'm happy for that. So she's doing well. I'm doing well.
And I also want to say, like, the lactation specialist that we seen after we had came home was not to bash anybody, but was a lot more helpful than the people in the hospital. I don't know if the people in the hospital were tired or had too many people and got people mixed up, but I don't know. They didn't really.
I think it wasn't that they weren't being helpful. I think it was just us being super tired, and then so many people kept coming in the room like every 30 minutes, to where it's like, and it's different people too. Like
Right.
every consultant was different, so
Right.
they kind of had their own opinion.
Right, and then people change shifts, so it's
Yeah.
a whole new set of people, and it was just like
It
we
was
met probably like 45 people
yeah.
within a like 3-day span. It
Yeah.
was insane.
Yeah, so it got so much better and so much calmer once you get home. So at first, when we were about to leave the hospital, I was kind of nervous because there's not gonna be professional help
Hmm.
other than my mom-in-law.
Right.
So I was kind of nervous, but when we got home, it was so much better.
So much better. Like the peace, like
Yeah.
people aren't coming in. Oh my god, every time we finally get her to sleep, somebody wants to come check her or do some type of
Yes.
test, and it's just like, God bless. Are you gonna put her back to sleep? Are you
Yeah,
gonna make me put her back to sleep?
they'll soothe her and like change her diaper if it needs to be changed, but they're not gonna be there to like make sure she's asleep
Right.
or put her back to the state she was in
Right.
before.
Another thing, fellas, you gotta learn how to swaddle. Look, I know if you go to the classes or you may not go to the classes, swaddling, especially in the beginning, is it can make or break you. You know what I mean? We'll have our baby crying for like an hour, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 2 hours. A nurse will come in and swallow her, and now she's
Well,
just
not
quiet.
2 hours. That's exaggerating.
I was there.
It may feel like
She
2 hours.
came in and swaddled the baby, and all of a sudden, like,
Yeah.
it was over.
Yeah.
I was like, for real?
Yeah.
We tried to get the hospital we went to is a baby friendly hospital. They do what's called rooming with your baby. Basically, you keep the baby in your room with the family, with the
With
mom
us,
and the
yeah.
husband or whatever. So we had the baby in the room, and they had a nursery. If you wanted to, like, you needed like maybe an hour and a half max
Just
just to sleep.
Mhm.
They take the baby. But guess what? Guess who they wouldn't take?
Mhm.
Guess who? Like, oh, you gotta calm her down first before we can take her. Well, look, I'm tired. She's tired. This baby's whining. Help us. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't take you.
Oh, baby.
They wouldn't take you to the nursery because you was making too much noise. It's crazy because the first day, she was like, when she would cry, she wouldn't cry that loud, and she wouldn't cry that often.
And he said it. He said,
I said it.
yeah,
I was like, she don't
oh,
cry that much. She don't cry that loud.
He spoke too soon. She was like
She wasn't even
screaming.
crying no more. She was like yelling, like I was like,
Yeah.
who are you yelling at?
Like
I'm your father.
screaming.
Like, I'm your father. Why are you yelling at me like this? You just got here. It's gonna get worse. You know what I'm saying? So once we got home, it's been so much better. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? My mom's been such a big help.
Mm.
She helps us so much. You know what I'm saying? And
Not
just
just
having
with the baby, but with like household stuff.
just being here,
Yeah.
so helpful.
Mhm.
And the baby gets so much more sleep now.
Yeah.
Not just because of the people not being here, but because she's properly getting fed, basically. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, she lost a lot of weight. Half because your baby. What we didn't learn until we went to that lactation consultant's
Yeah.
office. Like once we had left, the baby also gains weight when you're hooked up to those like IVs and fluid, like getting those fluids.
Mm-hmm.
So that once you have the baby and the baby's out of your system, once you're off the IVs, the baby will lose that weight also.
Like it's fluid weight,
Yeah.
basically.
So if your baby loses a lot of weight the first night or two, don't get too concerned. You know what I'm saying?
They're
It's,
supposed to lose a little bit
they're
of weight.
supposed to lose a little weight,
Yeah.
and make you know what I'm saying. I'm not no expert, but just make sure your baby, you know what I'm saying, is getting fed, getting changed. And if you have girls, also what we learned is like they have some hormones from their mom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna
Yeah.
have like a little bleeding.
A
You know what I'm
little
saying?
menstruation,
Yeah,
basically.
nothing to be too concerned about
We
unless
were
like
kind of freaked out when we first
yeah,
saw it.
yeah, we was a little worried, but nothing like. I mean, if your baby's like bleeding like a faucet, you need to go get her checked out. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But there was a little spotting, and it lasted maybe like 3 days, 4 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty much gone now. I don't know. It's just been a crazy ride, but it's like it's been so fun.
Parenthood is like you learning something you've never learned before.
Exactly. So many people can tell you, so
Mm-hmm.
many books can tell you, but until you go through it and experience it yourself, you'll fully understand, especially for the next time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like the next time we'll be more prepared. We'll know what to do. But yeah, parenthood has been really amazing.
It's been amazing, for sure.
Despite all the lack of sleep.
And how come nobody's made like a body wash, a soap of baby smell? You know what I mean? Like babies smell great.
Yeah, that's crazy. And they can't replicate it too.
Smells so great. And I don't know, what else you gotta
Um,
what else would you
I
wanna
think
talk
that's
about?
it.
That it? She loved getting a bath.
Yes.
Well, she likes getting her hair washed.
She
You're
like
such a
getting her the
girl.
hair did.
You're such a girl. You know what I'm saying? You're such a girl. One day when you watch this, you're such a girl. Um. Oh, babies poop black stuff in the beginning, but that's not nothing to worry about. It'll be gone after like 2 days, 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
It'll change to like normal poos.
And now it's turning yellowish
Now,
because of
yeah,
breast milk.
yeah. And another thing I realized they don't pee as often in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's mostly like poops. And like not even that much poop. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, she in the first couple of days she probably peed like maybe like 2-3 times max in a day, right?
First couple, yeah. Uh-huh.
Like it wasn't that much,
Yeah.
if that. Like sometimes she would go hours without like peeing. I was just like,
Yeah.
well, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Um, anything else, Sophia? Huh? You got anything to add? You gonna peek? She be peeking. She'll be. We was in the lactation office. I know this is getting off.
Topic.
Yeah, this will probably be the last thing. So I'm sitting there. I'm holding the baby. I was holding it the other way, and I was talking to my wife, and I was talking about the baby. I was like, yeah, da, 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 da. I don't remember what I was saying specifically, but then I looked down at the baby, and she's like side eyeing me, and I'm like, and then she closes her eyes and go back to sleep. I'm like, she a secret agent? Like, what is? She's so funny, yo. I think that's the end of this video, man. That's our birthing process. Comment down below if you have any questions, concerns, disagreements, agreements. What was your birthing story? What was your experience as a partner or a husband or mother-in-law, father-in-law, mother, whatever. And we'll probably be talking more in the comments if we, because of course we might forget something. I know as soon as I turn this video off, I'm gonna be like, should have said this, You got anything to add?
No, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Maybe in future you can make more videos with The baby.
Yeah, I'll definitely be making more videos with the little one.
Yeah. Right now she's just a sleeping
Right now, she
potato.
just sleeps and eats
And poops.
and poops.
Hmm.
Sleep, eat, poop. Sleep, eat, poop. I know one day you're gonna be up and you're gonna talk a lot. You're gonna run a lot, but it's okay. We still love you, and just don't do anything crazy, okay? Like that's all I ask, you know. Just be cool. You know what I mean? Is that good? Is that cool? You promise? You promise? All right, there you go. Promise. All right, y'all. This has been my birthday story, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all take something from it. I hope y'all learn something from it. I hope y'all don't take everything I say personally or set in stone. Like every pregnancy is different. Every baby's different. Every mother's different. It's just natural. You know what I'm saying? It's raw. You know what I mean? That's all I gotta say. It's raw. To all my new fathers out there, congratulations. You know what I mean? You did your thing. You know, you did your thing. It's blurry right now. Oh well. Um, I guess it's just a sign for me to shut up and sign off. So, assalamu alaikum. Hope everybody has a great day, great life. And SK, don't break my heart.